Please mute your speakers. And if you want to interrupt or make a comment at any time, you can do that. Just press the space bar. And if you have any questions at any time, please stop me for clarification, or if you want to make any comments or add to what I'm doing. All right, so today we're gonna, after we do our warm-up exercises, we're gonna learn a new move, and it's called brush knee. And brush knee is one of those moves that you see in every single Tai Chi style. It's one of those quintessential moves because it has so many different applications. Some of you already know how to do it. I know that Roma knows how to do it because I gave her some private lessons for a while. So as you can watch her and watch me, and we'll get through it. It's a lot of fun, this particular one. Okay, so let's begin. So let's just put our hands on our laps and take a few deep breaths, and just try to center yourself. And it helps if you raise your crown and tuck your chin in a little bit and drop your shoulders. It's okay to drop your shoulders and actually drop your shoulders and forward a little bit so your chest is hollow, but still sit up straight. And take a few deep breaths, relax all over. You want to have a sense that your legs are relaxed, no tension in your feet, your toes. We're just going to draw up an opening breath. Imagine pulling up energy from the earth. And breathing in and bringing it up and pushing it down. Pushing it down, and you can either go this way or you can push it down and go this way, which is what I like to do. All right. So we bring our hands now that's just the opening breath. And so all we're doing is, for those people who are sight impaired, is bringing our arms out to the side, palms up, straight up and over, making a big wide circle over our heads, coming down, palms facing down. Breathing out, slowly, slowly, slowly relaxing to the initial position with the palms on our thighs. All right. And so we raise our hands up, fingers pointing down, arms extended, totally relaxed, arms out straight, turn the hands, palms facing in, pull in. As we imagine pulling against a slight force, we turn the palms out, fingers pointing out, and now push out to that same position as if we're holding an energy ball, like a big beach ball, about shoulder length apart. And now extend the arms all the way back as if you were touching your shoulder blades together. As we breathe in, big breath in, exhale and push with your arms straight out, palms facing each other, in completely. All right. And then we keep going. So bring the hands, palms facing in, bring it in. Breathe in, push out all the way, breathe out. Extend the hands out and back all the way, taking a deep breath. And push in all the way. Arms fully extended, closing the hands together, palms facing each other, holding the ball. And one more time, in. Breathe in, feel the pressure, push, feel the resistance, out, exhale, inhale, open wide, arms straight back. Fill your lungs with air and push the arms straight forward, holding the ball. And now turn your palms down to your thighs and relax. And one opening breath, arms straight up, pulling out the energy over the head. Breathe in, exhale, push down to your left. Okay, good. Take a few breaths. Let's go back to holding that ball. We start with that energy ball. And let's play with that. Let's open and inhale to the shoulders and push, like you're pushing against a slight force, and exhale and open to the shoulder line and then push to about 8 inches apart and hold it. And now turn one hand facing you, rotate the palm out to the right and look at that palm about 12 inches from your face on the right hand side, like you're looking into a mirror. You're holding a mirror. At the same time, the left arm, the other arm, pushes down in an arc, back and down, as if you're blocking something to the side. And now let's just roll back to that position of holding the ball. And now the other hand rotates out to the side, looking at the palm. The other hand rotates down, swatting back to block, coming back, holding the ball. And just go back to the other side. Breathing in. Breathing out to the ball. Other side, breathing in. Slowly. Breathing out. Holding the ball. 1. Turn and look. 2. Breathe in, turn and look. 3. Turn and look. 4. Turn and look. Breathe in. Come back to holding the ball. And now, palms down, slowly push down to your left. So what we're doing here is whenever we extend or stretch in all these exercises, there's a stretching phase and a relaxation phase. And during the stretching stage, we breathe in, and during the relaxation stage, we breathe out. So the slower you do it, the slower you breathe. So you find a pace that's comfortable with respect to your breathing capability, all right? So if you can, if you're good at holding your breath, you can go slower, and going slower is actually good. Going slower allows us to feel that energy flow going back and forth. It allows us to tease apart the movements and focus our attention on the movements. When we do it fast, you lose that ability. That's why, there's that saying, slow down and smell the roses. All right, next exercise, holding the ball again. So we often start with that, right? And now the hand that goes down is going to rotate down to the back and swat back. It's going to be the same. The other hand, instead of rotating out to the side, is going to rotate up and push up like we're holding a tray. So you're pushing up with one hand, pushing down with the other. And we want to get that good stretch as we breathe in. And come back to the ball, breathing out. And push up and down. Get that good stretch. Nice. I'm watching people. They're doing it right. That's good. Come back to holding the ball. Push up and down. Breathe in. To the ball. Stretch. To the ball. Exhale. Stretch. To the ball, exhale, and one more stretch. To the ball, stretch. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Come back to the ball. Open and close. Cross your hands in front of you. Sweep up. Closing breath. Up to the top, push down. Breathe out. To the left, all right? Good. Okay, so next exercise, we're going to hold that ball again in front of us. I'm just admitting people as they come in. And I'm going to rotate the ball to one side. As I twist to that side around my waist as far as I can, and then come back and rotate the ball back to the front where you're holding it on the sides, all right? And then turn and rotate the ball over 90 degrees to the other side. And breathe in and then breathe out as we rotate to the front. Now we're just going to say rotate to the left. And I won't mention breathing because as we turn and stretch, we're breathing in, right? As we relax to the front, we're breathing out to the front. Turn. Relax to the front. Turn. Relax. Turn. Hold the ball. Pretend that you're actually holding the ball. So you're not changing the distance between your hands. If you did that, you would drop the ball, right? So if you have a ball, you can practice this with a basketball or beach ball or whatever. So you want to try to make the form very symmetrical on both sides. And that's a key element in Tai Chi is symmetry. Because in symmetry, you have balance. And Tai Chi is all about balance. The balancing between forces, especially between the two opposing forces, yin and yang. Right? So you emphasize symmetry to both sides. So each move has a mirror image. Mirror image means just that, right? You can't tell the difference between, except that you know that one is right-handed and one is left-handed, but other than that, the posture, the geometry, the form is exactly the same. And that's what we try to do. When we do this, it has an effect on our minds, all right? I mean, it may not be conscious, but it happens unconsciously or subconsciously that if you have the symmetry in this flow or flux to one side and the other, and your mind processes that as an equanimous feeling. It becomes non-disjunctive, right? It becomes the way the universe is built, the way things happen in nature, is they happen with form and function the same way each time. Otherwise, you have chaos. Living things don't like chaos. Chaos is associated with dis-ease. Symmetry is associated with ease. Okay, good. Coming back to the center, focus. Expand to the shoulder line. Inhale, contract, and come down. Okay, so the next one is a little bit tricky for some people. But I really want people to try to get it because it's
Ralph, I'm sorry, it's Elizabeth. I have a question. Do you want me to wait till the end or ask it now for this last one we did?
I can't hear you. Okay, I can't, I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. Hit your space bar. Who's talking? Raise your hand.
I think it was Elizabeth, but I can't hear her anymore.
All right, let me unmute her.
She was asking if you want her to wait till the end of class to ask her question or if she can ask now, but I can't hear her now.
Oh,
There we go. Do you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can't.
You're not hearing me, I see.
I hear a cat say meow. Was that?
That was me. Okay, good. So
okay, yeah, there she is.
Oh, I was wondering if I had a question for the last one we just did, but I didn't know if you'd prefer me to ask it at the end or now. Okay, great. So my question is, that one seemed to be, it was fluid, right? So we were not pausing at any point.
That's right.
Okay, so the question then is with the breathing, how do you transition from the exhale to the inhale then? Is it also fluid, or is there a pause at all? And if so, where would that be?
Well, that's a very good question. I'm glad you brought it up because I probably haven't mentioned it and should have. Tai Chi, it's probably no different than in life. Is what you want to do is you want to train yourself so that it never really stops. It rolls over, right? So when you breathe, it's not like this. It's not like a sine. It's like a sine wave, not a
Right.
boxy thing like this, going up, over, down, across the bottom, up, across the top, like a box. It's more like a sine wave. You know what a sine wave is?
Yes.
Electronics.
Yes. Yes.
So the breath goes up and it rolls over. There's a hesitation, but you don't want to hold your breath. That's not a good habit to get in.
So that transition, this is Elizabeth, by the way, so if you're doing any visuals, I won't be able to tell, but I do know what you mean by the wave. So,
Yeah.
I'm imagining it's as we're returning to center, right? And we're bringing the ball
Back to the center,
back
yeah.
to center. If you can see me, I think like that. So is that the point where we would try to make a seamless transition from the exhale to the inhale, so that as we do the next rotation, we're in the inhale?
Okay, so as using this as an example, as we turn to the side, we inhale.
Yes.
When we get to that side, we don't want to hold it there. We want to bring it to the side, and just when we're there, we're starting to turn it over.
Right.
To the side, you're going to turn it over. And there's this, and the waist is actually moving all the time. So I don't know if you can see me.
I don't. It's Elizabeth. So I don't see that. I understand, but for some reason, it's the transition when we bring the ball back. So in one position, right, and then we're bringing the ball back to center. Where in that moving it to center does the exhale end and the inhale begin? Is it right when so the ball's back to center, we're finishing the exhale, and we're going into the next rotation. So right away, is that where the inhale begins?
Yeah. So when you exhale, when you're wound up to the side, you're compressed or you're sprung in different ways.
Yes.
Now, when you start to rotate back, you start to exhale.
Yes.
And then when you get to center, you're completely exhale, almost completely exhale.
Yes.
And you're already starting, your hands are never stop. You're already starting to move to the other side with your hands. They never really stop. So your breath never really stops.
But at some point, it's that transition at that center. That's my question. I understand the hand rotation never stopping. That's coming very naturally to me. But what isn't is I naturally I want to I'm feeling the body want to like pause with the breath, not with the rotation. But it seems that that's not the way to do this. So we should go exhale. Are you moving straight into the inhale from the exhale?
Well, I think the most succinct way to say it in practice is don't hold your breath. Don't have that sensation of holding your breath and then.
No, it's at the exhale. The exhale is where I'm having the feeling to pause. So there is no breath.
Just think, like when you're doing these breathing phases in the two phases, we're talking about the top of the inhalation and the bottom of the exhalation phase, right? Or the other way around.
Okay, thank you.
Think in your mind about how water moves. You watch a wave. It crests and it just drops, and it doesn't really stop at the top, right, or at the bottom. It's already moving before it stops in a way. Well, you can't actually do that. Physically, there's probably some point.
Yes.
What we're going to do is we try to make it infinitely small. So so it becomes sort of incalculable.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. I hope that explains it.
Yes, thank you. Now it's just practice.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about it is you can't ever perfect this. There's no way to perfect this, no matter how much you practice. But that's why we do it. challenge. As we get better and better, we get closer and closer to perfection. And so with this breath, I'm glad you brought it up. That's a whole thing in itself. It takes, years to do. And the Tai Chi helps do that. The movements help do that because they're designed in that way, right? Okay. So the next one, we're going to push to the left and push to the right with the fingers pointing forward. So, not so easy, you say. Yes, it's not so easy, you say, especially when I'm sitting opposite you and my right hand looks like your left hand, But I figured out a way to do this. So this is the way it looks. So you jet your elbow back, turn your, this is my left hand, rotate my palm out so my thumb is pointing down. And I push to the same side, to the left, with my thumb pointing up and my fingers pointing out. So the way to do this is start from holding a bowl. It's a nice starting place. I love this Polo Lam Qigong system that he's got, because it always starts from some kind of a center, which helps, I think helps your brain a lot. Anyway, imagine you've got a bumblebee or a hornet or something that's bugging you back here on the right. So past my right shoulder, just to the left, to the right side and back. And I'm going to swat it. So I'm going to turn from holding the bowl. I'm going to turn my hand out and swat it. So there's only one way to do that, right? Unless you swat it with the back of your hand. But if you swat with your palm, you got to turn your hand over so the thumb is pointing down. This is my right hand, and push back with my elbow and swat that thing. Now imagine at the same time that there's a bug directly out front toward my, in front of that, in the sagittal direction. You get it out front, further out front. So I'm going to reach over with my left hand and swat it with my palm. Fingers pointing out, thumb pointing it up, right? And now all of a sudden, those critters move over to the left. Man, I got to deal with that over there. So one's in the back near my shoulder, and the other one's up front out of a couple of feet at about the same level. So I'm going to turn both hands, and this time I'm going to get them both at the same time. Swat the one in the front with my right hand, palm out, thumb up, and swat the one in the back with my thumb down, palm facing out. Both fingers are facing forward. And not just rotate back to get to the other side and to the other side. Now imagine that these bees are lined up at my shoulder line, fore and aft. So to do it the most efficient way, I'm not going to push out further than I need to. Good. So I'm seeing this Roma do this, and that's great, Roma, really nice. If you can watch her, you can see how perfectly she is lining up her hands. And I'm trying to look at everybody. So Leslie's got it. Now try to imagine you're pushing, and right to the side, instead of those critters, there's a barn door. So you're standing up right next to it. And you just want to push against the wall or the barn door. And so you don't need to go out very far because the door is going to stop your hands. So you want your hands to laterally to line up, the fingers line up with each other, just to the shoulder line. Just to the shoulder line. Now imagine that, I don't care whether you're sitting in a wheelchair, something that has wheels, or whether you're standing. Imagine something coming at you. Imagine two people coming at you, and you retreat, and you push one person to the left, and you push back and retreat. Either step back or push back with your legs, and you push the other person to the right. That's the feeling. Pushing that person to the left and pushing the person to the right. with as least effort and movement as possible. Moving away and retreating. That's the feeling. And that is the actual application of this move. And that's why I like it so much, because it's not only is it a Qigong, but it's one of those Qigong exercises that happens to have an application in real life. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be something coming at you, right? Something coming into your space, and you push it aside that way. It's a very efficient way to deal with that kind of situation without subjecting your body to abuse. There are other ways to push somebody aside that probably aren't very good, because you can break an arm, break a finger or something. This is very efficient ways to do it. And if you speed it up, all of a sudden, a little faster, you can do it without stopping. So the flow is from one side to the other as you turn the waist. And now imagine your waist is driving the force. Now we're going to a higher internal level. The mind tells the waist to turn just slightly before the arms turn, which adds energy to the movement, because all the major muscles are in your core around the waist. And in all these moves, it's the waist that really sort of drives it. So the waist is kind of like the flywheel that holds the potential energy and then delivers it to the wheels. If any of you know car mechanics. Okay, good. So I want to spend a lot of time on these things, because you might say, well, come on, let's get going. I want to learn Tai Chi. This is Tai Chi. If all you do is this movement, and that's your practice, and you do it well, you're a Tai Chi master. Remember, quality is better than quantity. From Amanda. I have to go. Okay, sorry. See you next week. So if there aren't any questions about what I just went over, I'm going to move on. Okay, so we're going to move on, and let's just hunch our shoulders up and down, roll our shoulders up and back and up and back. At the same time, leave your fingers out straight and open and close, open and close. Good. This is going to strengthen your fingers, and you won't get arthritis in your fingers if you do this. So we're accomplishing two things at once. We're stretching the muscles in our shoulders and loosening up, and also in our hands. And now let's go the other way. Hunch forward, up and around, and rotate up the shoulders, up and around and down and so forth. Opening and closing your hands, your fingers. I just did all these exercises this morning. I've told you this before. I do all these exercises while my coffee is in the making. So I feel really good and relaxed while I have my coffee. And then I'm nervous from the caffeine, so I have to do more afterwards to settle down. All right, so good. Now let's just turn our heads back and forth, to the left and the right. Okay, take a closing breath. Up, inhaling down. Okay, let's do the leg exercises now. We're gonna, if you can't use your legs, use your hands. Just do the hand part of it. All right, I'm gonna move back so you can see me. All right, so we make two fists hearts up. You know what the heart is of your fist? If you make two fists and rotate them up so you can look at your fingers, that's making a fist heart up. And we bring them straight back, the elbows straight back, the fists at the side, 90 degrees in the elbows, with the forearm, between the forearms and the elbows. And now we're going to punch out and rotate as we punch. And so if you've seen these guys with tattoos on their knuckles, L-O-V-E, you know, like that. So now you can read L-O-V-E on it. All right, so maybe that doesn't make sense. Okay, so we're gonna, as you punch out, you rotate 180 degrees. So now the heart of your fist is pointing down. And at the same time, you kick with the left, with the other foot, and bring them back together. So it's 1. So this is called contralateral movement. 4. Punch and kick with the opposite leg. Bring it back, both back. 1. Bring it back, both back. 2. Bring them back. 3. And just keep going. Go at your own pace. See how high you can kick. Now, if this exercise works for you, meaning if you, in particular, need to do this for some reason, all right, for rehabilitation, or maybe you don't have full movement in your arms and your legs, I recommend that you do this a lot. One, 2, 3, and 4. And now let's just quickly go down and do our feet. Remember, we put our foot down, we lift the heel, and we rock back and forth on the toe as a fulcrum. And try to go as far as you can in terms of range. And I mean, as far as you can, I mean as far as you feel comfortable doing. And side to side. And the other foot, rotate around the toe, heel up. And side to side. If you can't use your feet, do the same thing with your fists. Just simulate these movements. By rotating your fist, like you see me doing. Okay, good. All right, so let's get into the Tai Chi. We need to keep moving on this because this is a 12-week course and we want to get through the course and learn 12 movements and still have time to practice. So the next movement we're going to learn is called the brush knee. Now, the last movement we ended with open and close. So far, let's examine what we've learned so far. The first move is commencement. The second is open and close. The third is single whip. The fourth is cloud hands to one side, to the right, followed by open and close, single whip, cloud hands back to the other side, and open and close. So that's where we are so far. The next move is called brush knee. Brush knee is one of those moves where your hands or arms are moving in different directions. So one arm is moving straight and the other in the sagittal plane back and forth, and the other other arm and hand are moving in the horizontal plane, which is like across the tabletop. All right? It's not as hard as it sounds. So this is the way it starts. So you open and close. All right? I'm going to turn a little sideways, make it a little easier for you to see. Nice and smooth. Open, feeling that resistance. Like the ball is expanding and you're holding it, the expansion, you're controlling it, and then pushing it back in and compressing it just a little bit. And now what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your hands, and you're going to rotate your left fingers down and your right fingers to the side. So your left fingers are touching your right elbow. And now let's just rotate them back to holding the ball, all right? So if you're holding the ball and you rotate the left fingers down, so you're just rotating the hand down about 90 degrees, right? And you rotate 45 degrees. And you're rotating the other hand 45 degrees out. You're at a point where one palm's fingers are close to the other arm's elbow. Make sense? So it's a very, very efficient, very easy move. It's just rotating the hands to the right to the same degree. You end up naturally with the fingers of one hand, in this case my left hand, touching or near the elbow of my other hand. And so this is what it looks like. And my right palm is now off to the side, my right side. Just like in that exercise, the first exercise. We're holding the ball and we rotate the right hand out to the side and look at it as if it were a mirror. So now we're using that Qigong in a Tai Chi routine. So we already know how to do this. The only difference is it's the other hand's fingers are coming down to the elbow. So we rotate to the side, turn the waist with it, just like we did in the warm-up exercise, and rotate the fingers to the elbow. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push forward through the shoulder line with my right hand. So I'm going to turn the palm facing forward, and I'm going to push straight out, like I'm pushing, like I'm striking somebody about in their face. So I'm turning and pushing straight out. The other hand from the elbow is going to come down in an arc, straight out, horizontal, with the palm facing out, like I'm brushing something aside. It's going to come around in a circle, and it's going to come into the waist, palm down, with my thumb at my thigh, or touching my thigh. So that's where it's going to come to. So that arm is going to come down, and it's going to come out and across, like I'm pushing something aside, and it's going to come in and rest at the thigh, while the other hand shoots straight out across through the shoulder line, out straight. So now I end up with one hand facing straight out, like a cop directing traffic, and he says stop. You've seen those signs where the hand is out, it says stop. And my other hand is right down near my thigh with my palm cocked so that the palm is facing down at the hip. Body is upright, all right? Head upright, chin tucked in, shoulders shoulders are pushed forward. All right. So let's try that again. So we start holding the ball. We open and close. That's the last movement. We shift our palms to get into that wind-up position by shifting both palms to the right until the left fingers touch the right elbow. We turn the right palm out, facing us, We push out straight and sweep across, blocking across and striking forward, bringing that left hand down, across, and then in to the side. Any questions so far? That's called brush knee. The reason it's called brush knee is sometimes it's done where you sweep down across the knee. So if you were using this to block a kick, you would block in a sweeping motion down from the with that palm that starts out at the elbow. If you were blocking a strike directly at you, a punch or something like that, or a high kick, you'd block across your chest, across, and come in. So it doesn't matter which one, but they're both called brush knee. So two things are going on. You're blocking across with the left hand and pushing forward with the right hand, with the right palm out straight. So in Tai Chi, we don't strike with the fist very often. We mostly strike with the what's that part of your palm? The base of your palm?
The heel.
Ah, the heel, yes. The heel is soft, but there's a lot of tissue there, right? And it's locked into the wrist. So if you strike something with the heel of your hand, you're not going to hurt your fingers. You can absorb a lot of energy that way. And so in Tai Chi, most of the strikes are with the heel of the hand. Because in Tai Chi, the idea is not to get hurt if we have to use force. So that's why that's done. And so we're striking out, the palm facing directly out like a stop, and the other hand comes across and wipes across with the fingers across. Now, how can I explain that? With the fingers, with the thumb down, sweeping across. Thumb down, sweeping across. Because the tissue on the front of our hand, in the palm part of our hand, is soft. So, for example, I don't know if you can see me, but if I swipe to the left, I can generate, with the palm out, I can generate a very strong force, almost like a whip action, hardly without feeling anything, as long as my palm is facing out. I can also do it I could flick my hand out and do the same thing with the back of my hand, kind of like a whip action. And that's actually a strike, a type of strike that's used in another type of Tai Chi related Chinese art, martial art called Bagua. So the end of a whip has tremendous force. All right, so just bringing those things up for you to think about to help you with the move, understand the principle of the move. We do it slowly with intention. All right, so open and close. All right, rotate the arms into position. Sweep across with the left hand and push out with the right. And at the time when your front hand is fully extended, straight out, about eye level, nose or eye level, straight out, your back, the left hand in this case, is at the position at the thigh with the palm down. So here again, just like that breathing, who was it that brought it up? Elizabeth, I think, brought it up. Just like breathing, it's kind of like breathing, is you want things to end up at the same time. You want the right hand extended fully out at the same time as the left hand sweeps across and ends up down at the hip. You don't want it to be a disjunctive move with the hand landing at its final position before the other hand. So that creates a symmetry and smoothness in the movement. And that timing is really hard to get right. But we want to work at it. And that's where the mind comes in. So the mind is directing these movements And so the mind is saying, well, let's see, the right hand is moving a little too fast. I got to slow that down because the left hand won't reach its endpoint at the same time unless I do that. And it's so the mind is constantly making micro changes, decisions to make all that happen. And so that's why Tai Chi is an internal martial art. So think about that for a second. Okay. So let's start at the beginning, go through the whole set. All right, really good. Everyone's coming along really nicely. We start with our hands on our thighs, or at our sides, even better, at our sides. Fingers dangling down, relaxed, totally relaxed. Try to sit up straight, tuck your chin in, raise your crown. Relax your shoulders. Bring your hands up, arms straight, fingers pointing down. Slowly, slowly as we breathe in. And now we're holding a ball, and bring that ball in to your chest and rotate it down. And now push straight out with the fingers pointing out, holding that ball. Push the ball out and bring it in again. And bringing it down and open and close. All right, commencement, open and close. Turn the palms facing out. Push out, and like you're opening up a set of curtains, extend them out just past the shoulder line. Single whip. Bring the right hand down in an arc slowly so that the fingers line up under the left shoulder. My right palm is down at my hip. My left palm is up near my face. I switch vertically, keeping the distance the same. And now I turn around my waist, maintaining the same distance vertically, and the hands, one palm opposite the other, up and down, and get to the other side and switch again. Left palm up, right palm down, and turn both palms together to the left, and switch up and down again. And turn to the right, and now I'm going to start turning at the right shoulder line, the lower hand up, like I'm scooping water up out of a bucket. Bring it up in an arc and open it up and rotate your body to the front. Now you're holding a ball, just like at the beginning of the set. And now it's easy just to open and close, palms facing each other like I'm holding the ball, open and close. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing to the left. All right. We are going to single whip, palms facing out, open the hands, extending them out to the shoulder line. This time I'm going to bring my left arm down in an arc to a position under the right elbow. And now I'm going to switch my hands up and down. The left hand is now up near my face. My right hand is down near my waist. And I'm going to turn. And the fingers of the lower hand are now turning to the left. Pointing left. To the right, to the left side. Switch once again. Now my right hand is coming down. And as I turn to the right, the fingers of my right hand start pointing toward the right to get to the right shoulder line. Bring the left hand up in an arc. Turning it opposite and over, opposite the right hand, and open and close. Okay. And now brush knee. Brush knee. I am going to rotate my palms, left palm rotating to the right elbow, right palm rotating to the side. And now I'm going to turn my right palm facing forward, not changing that position. And I'm going to block across my left hand and push forward with my right hand. And I'm going to bring that left palm down to my waist. Now my left palm is down at my waist, palm pointed down. My right palm is facing out. My right arm is straight. Good. See what time it is here. Okay, 5:53. So we've got 7 minutes left, and I'm just going to want to end on time. We're going to do some some tendon muscle exchange exercises. But before I do that, I just wanted to ask, in particular, with the last movement we learned, the brush knee step, if there are any questions about that. So now's your opportunity to ask questions about it.
Okay, it's Elizabeth again. So as we're beginning, is one arm slanted? The lower arm, is that a slant?
Yes, it's at a slant.
Okay. So the elbow's closer to abdominals and the fingers. Do you see me? Is it like this?
Let me see.
Where's it? Your one arm is straight, and then the other one's.
All right, who's talking?
Elizabeth. Oh, this is Elizabeth, the one without the vision.
All right, let me see. Boy, you're really fuzzy.
Oh.
I can't.
Okay. Well, you can't see me either. All right. So basically.
All right, I'll try to explain it.
That's because you said the fingers are touching the elbow, but that might not have been like literally touching.
It doesn't have to be literal, but
okay. But basically the fingers are at an angle towards the upper elbow.
Yes, the fingers. Okay. The fingers are now. My right fingers are up. My left fingers are up, but the palms are facing each other, and my left fingers are touching or near my right elbow.
Okay. So is that lower arm? I'm saying because I don't know which arm I'm using. Is that also a little bit on an incline? Or?
Yes, they're both at an incline.
Okay, so they're both at an incline. Oh, is it the same incline?
Yes.
Same degree of incline?
I'll tell you what it is. The left palm, which is almost touching the right elbow, is at a 45-degree angle to my chest.
Okay.
The upper hand is more like a 90, my right fingers are almost pointed up.
Okay. And that slant is going outer, away from the body.
The right palm is fingers are pointed up almost vertically. Almost vertically.
You're saying almost. So the little bit of tilt, is that away from the body?
Yes, away.
Okay. Got it.
Because if it were up 90 degrees, it would be too close. I want it out a little bit, a few inches out.
Okay, got it.
All you're doing is like you're a baseball player winding up.
Got it.
But you're winding up to do two things. You're getting the right hand up in position to turn and push out, and the left hand in a position to sweep across.
Yes.
All right, so there's always a reason for why you get into this.
Yeah, I see it's tilted out a bit. The upper one is tilted out a bit to give you room for the rotation to press forward.
Yeah, right, right.
Okay, got it.
Well, then when you press forward, you're pressing too far out. You're not using your muscles in your... Right. You need to get the right hand close enough to your body so when you turn the hand facing forward, you're pushing through your shoulders.
Yeah.
Muscles in your shoulders rather than pulling around to the right.
Exactly.
As much force. If the closer your hand is to your body, the more you can use your body to drive that force through. And
and if it was upright, there wouldn't be enough room for your thumb and the twist. You'd be getting too close to your face.
Yeah, that's right. If it's out, it allows you to use that twist in your
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you.
You have to find that sweet spot. Okay, so let's do some tendon muscle exchange. So we're going to do the first four. We're going to start with the first one, which is palms down. All right, palms down at your waist, fingers pointing out, elbows bent, pushing down. Push down as hard as you can when I tell you to. Take a deep breath, hold your breath. Ready? Go. Fill your lungs, expand your stomach. Push, 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 push. Now relax and exhale completely. And tighten the muscles in your stomach. So you completely push the air out. Now relax. Okay, again. Inhale, hold it, push down. relax. Inhale, push. Exhale completely. Inhale, push. Exhale completely. Number 2, make 2 fists. Bring your knuckles together at the dantian, your belly button, with the thumbs up, and you're going to imagine pushing down. Ready? 1. Inhale. Push down. Low lip. Thumbs up. Relax. Inhale. Push down. Relax. Inhale. Push down. Relax. Inhale. Push down. Relax. Okay, that's number 2. Stick around if you can, because I really want to explain why this is important and with the value that this has for us in terms of exercise. Number 3, put your thumbs inside your fist. Put your hands at your side, the fist pointed down. Push down as hard as you can. Inhale. Exhale completely, relax. Inhale, push down. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push down. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push down. Exhale, relax. And the next one is simple. You just maintain the same fist posture, thumbs inside. Bring your hands straight out, horizontal to the ground, and push out. Ready? Squeeze, push out. Breathe in. Push out as far as you can. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push out. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push out. Exhale, relax. Inhale, push out. Exhale, relax. Squeeze all the air out of your body. Tighten your abdomen. Okay. So that's 4, and then we always end with the relaxation exercise. Open your palms. Put your palms at your side. Totally relax. When I say relax, I mean your feet, your ankles, your thighs, okay, your calves, shoulders, everything. And when you're relaxed completely, raise your palms like you're making an offering. Raise them straight out and breathe naturally. And relax. Slowly bring your hands back to your sides and down. And come up. Raise up. Arms straight. Palms up. Down and relax. Bring the hands up. Down and relax. So the value that this has, and I'll speak to the value it has doing Tai Chi, is remember Tai Chi originated as a martial art. And in the Tai Chi vocabulary, the Tai Chi literature, they talk about two types of principal forces. One are called, so there are these, all forces can, Tai Chi forces can be divided up into long forces and short forces. And the long forces are used to reach out and connect with an opponent. And once that connection is made, they call it sticking. You're using your mind and your body to sense what's going on with that other person and where their forces are coming from and direction that they're going in. Generally, that's followed with a grab. And not necessarily a grab. It could be just making a bird's beak and hooking. Not necessarily grabbing, just hooking. And then that's usually followed with a strike. And the strike is always a short strike. So all the strikes that have energy and do damage in Tai Chi are short range strikes because they're done in close. And these strikes are short, and because they're short, they use the muscles that are attached to the bones at one end. So you're not using the entire muscle, for example. You're using only that portion of the muscle that's attached to a joint. And that muscle is attached to a joint by a tendon. All right? And so these strikes are very fast and very, very quick and very powerful. And therefore, the tendons that attach those muscles to the joint have to be flexible and strong. And so that's why this tendon exchange exercise is so important to people that practice Tai Chi. So I hope that makes sense. If you think about it, I think you'll find that it does make sense. And so these tendon exchange muscle exercises, or tendon exchange, tendon muscle exchange exercises are the equivalent to people that practice Tai Chi seriously as bodybuilding is to weightlifters or people that, work out. All right, so with that, let's end. And once again, if you have any questions or special needs, email me, all right?
I have a really quick question for what we just did. You know, when we did the pushing out one, so we're tightening up and we're pushing as far forward as we can. Are we keeping our shoulders and back straight, or are we pushing through the back to push forward?
You're mainly pushing. Yes, the answer is yes to all of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one way where I can push forward and my back kind of rounds to push forward, and another where my back remains straight, my upper back.
Yeah. What you're doing is to get the most out of it, you push forward, and you should feel compression through your arms to your shoulders and across the other side.
So are you pushing just through the shoulders, or are you pushing through your back as well?
Yeah, you're pushing back through your back as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, great. Glad you liked it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing a video, that you can use, the sighted people can use anyway, of the whole set, the sitting set. You think
Zoom meeting.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
That would be great because I missed a lot of the sessions, but this one was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Granted, I go through a lot of detail, but the